Welcome back, adventurers, once again to Let's Play Steins. In the last episode, Rintaro pondered openly to the other members of the Future Gadget Laboratory on whether or not it was actually possible to convert a human being into actual data. Daru once again brought up the fact that human-sized data would essentially be an exabyte, and thus completely unable to be used as a D-mail, since D-mails can only be have a limit capacity of 36 bytes per D-mail. Kurisu seems to have a somewhat different, I don't know, solution, but a somewat different theory. It's hard to believe what Kurisu is saying, even though it was my idea in the first place. Kurisu grins triumphantly in response. So apparently she's sort of a method to actually compress an exabyte of data down into 36 bytes.
LHC で作ったブラックホールを利用すればいい。ブラックホールは飲み込んだあらゆるものを超圧縮してしまうんだから。
Apparently she plans to do this by using the Kerr black holes generated by the Large Hadron Collider, which I suppose makes a certain kind of sense, because that's exactly what we're sending the... that's basically what happens with our D-mails
圧縮するものが単なるデータなら人間みたいに潰されることで命が失われることもない。
Also, as long as we can actually compress it down to 36 bytes, because anything more than that will actually vanish into oblivion, as we've known from our initial D-mail experiments. But apparently Rintaro gets the concept. But wait, can we really pull off such a stunt? As in to say, there is actually no technological way that an actual physical human being can be turned into digital data. If we don't find a solution to this particular question, we're basically run into yet another dead end.
サイエンス誌に私の論文が載ったっていうことは知ってるわよね。
Yes, we know that fact, that you are an accomplished researcher, and also the fact that that thesis is actually the reason why we know who you are in the first place.
なぜいきなり自慢を始めるのだ。
その論文を読んだことは？
I believe Daru showed us that particular thesis a long time ago. I have a vague idea on it had something to do with memory, but that was way back in that was a long time ago, and clearly we don't remember it. But apparently Daru has copies of Kurisu's thesis, which we can actually have a look at. Daru opens his image folder, scrolls past a bunch of images, and brings up the file that we need. Sure enough, there's Kurisu's name in big English letters. And there is the article once again. Remember that we saw this a very, very long time ago. It apparently has something to do with the writing itself is a bit jarbled, so probably a good idea to let Kurisu explain this. Apparently her thesis is called
側頭葉に蓄積された記憶に関する神経パルス信号の解析。
Analysis of memory-related nerve impulses in the temporal lobe, which basically means that her background isn't in physics.
神経パルス。あれ、オカリン知らなかったん？いや待て、からかうのはよせ。このタイトルは物理学というより脳科学の分野では。
Apparently, Kurisu's specialty is neuroscience, or neuroscience, not neural science. I'm getting my words mixed up again. Neuroscience is the scientific study of the brain. This field incorporates biology, genetics, medicine, psychology, and electrical engineering, but not necessarily physics.
脳科学専攻ですけど何か
And Rintaro is obviously taken aback by this fact, considering the fact that she actually spoke rather in great detail about particle accelerators and time travel theory.
いや、それはまあいいとして。それとタイムトラベルとどんな関係が？
人間丸ごとのデータ化は無理でも
I believe Daru already covered this point.
人間の記憶丸ごとのデータ化なら可能っていうこと
But apparently, Kurisu believes that we can somehow convert people's memories into actual data. An interesting speculation. Kurisu proceeds to explain her thesis. Memories accumulate in something called the parahippocampal gyrus, or the hippocampus, which is located in the temporal lobe of the brain. But what exactly are memories? Kurisu's thesis analyzes that question from a neuroscientific perspective. All of the brain's functions manifest as electrical signals running through its neurons. Even memories are written to the hippocampus by electrical signals. Kurisu analyzed how specific electrical signals correspond to specific memories. The mechanism by which humans recall memories can be likened to a word association game. You begin with a vague abstract image, which calls successive images with increasing clarity.
タンスの引き出しの一つ一つには小さい箱がびっしり入ってるので、そのたくさんの箱の中にもさらに小さな小箱がいっぱいそんな風に想像してもらえばいい
That is a lot of tiny boxes there, Kurisu. Kurisu discovered that the number of retrieval commands, nerve impulses used to search up memories, is surprisingly low. Out of hundreds of millions of nerve impulse patterns in the brain, only a few thousand are related to memory. There was a successful analysis of these patterns that earned Kurisu and her research team critical acclaim in the scientific community.
この研究単体だけじゃ岡部の言ったアイデアとは全然関係なさそうだけどもう一つあるの私の通ってる大学ビクトル・コンドリア大学の精神生理学研究所がビジュアルリビルディング略して VR 技術っていうのを何年か前に開発した
Now normally in any other context VR would actually stand for virtual reality, but in this case it stands for visual rebuilding.
簡単に説明するとビデオカメラなんかの映像機器に映した風景の映像信号を神経パルス信号にコンバートする技術のこと
So they've found a way to actually convert actual data into nerve impulse signals in the human brain. And I'll just bring up the rather complicated diagram in Kurisu's thesis papers, which you may find it a bit hard to follow, but I believe Kurisu will give us a layman's explanation of how this process works.
逆に神経パルスを普通の電気信号にコンバートすることもできる
Now, apparently they can use it in reverse, so this is how we can actually convert human memories or human neural signals into actual data, which I believe that we can actually transfer to the use as a D-mail and send it back into the past.
でこの VR 技術と私たちの研究を組み合わせるとどうなると思う
I believe that I am following you so far, Kurisu, but the the question remains is that those memories will still be on the phone. So how do we actually transfer those memories from the D-mail on the phone to the person receiving said D-mail?
まさか
That is
人間の
that
記
is
憶の
another issue that we
デ
have.
ータか
But essentially,
それだけじ
yes.
ゃない。記憶の移植、バックアップ、外部保存、そういうことができるようになる。
So Kurisu is now bringing up the possibility that not only can we convert memories into data and vice versa, but she somehow found a way to actually transfer actual data into the human brain. In fact, it is kind of very much science fiction. In a sense, this technology could be used to convert it to copy a person's soul. So you can change a person's memories into data, and then when you send it back in time via the D-mail, you can use the technology to actually input that data back into one's memory. But the problem is that we still have a obvious question of actually building a device that enables us to do that. And there's another question of causality. Since we've only just come up with said device, once we send a D-mail back in time, it will go back to a point where we haven't already built whatever device we need to in order to set this up in the first place, unless of course we somehow alter the past thanks to the D-mail and create a completely different world line in which this technology exists, which now that I think about it, given what's happened so far, this might just work. According to Kurisu, some religious groups strongly oppose this research, as you might very well expect. On the other hand, the medical community is ecstatic about the possibilities. I believe this would definitely... I'm surprised you don't already have a Nobel Prize for neuroscience, or maybe you do. Maybe Kurisu does. Who knows? In any event, it's amazing that my assistant here was able to make such an incredible discovery. First of all, she discovered this long before she met you, and second of all, she would probably tell you once again that she is not your assistant, Rintaro. Of course, she did have a university supporting her, but still, I believe it was Victoria or Victor Condria or something like that. Victor Condria University.
つまりお前はこう言いたいのだな。 D メールと同じ要領で被験者の記憶を含む脳内情報を光信号として取り出し、
Which would be step 1.
それを LHC で発生させたミニブラックホールを利用して超圧縮36バイトプラスアルファのサイズにまでして、
That would be step 2.
電話レンジカッコ仮で生成したカーブラックホールのリング特異点を通過させ、
That would be step 3.
携帯電話を通して過去の被験者自身の脳に記憶だけをぶち込む。
And finally, that would be step 4.
どういうこと？
And of course, the only one who's having trouble following this up until this point is Mayuri. Daru seems to probably have a better idea than Mayuri does, but he'll probably be no less confused. So Kurisu has come up with another possibility that CERN hasn't. And this actually would circumvent the whole Jellyman problem. Instead of sending people back into the past physically, unless we had John Titor's actual time machine that was reverse engineered from CERN's technology, we can actually send memories back in time to the person, which is kind of, but not quite sending someone back in time.
物理的転送によるタイムトラベルと区別するために、仮にこっちはタイムリープと定義しましょうか。
So this process is going to be called time leap, which is probably flows quite well along with D-mail.
肉体を含めた物理的転送ではなく、記憶だけを過去へと跳躍させる。
But only your memories go back in time, not your actual physical self.
あまりに突飛すぎて、誰もまともに考えようとしなかった方法。
Apparently because it's in the realm of fringe science that you yourself once condemned not so long ago, if memory serves. She's right. The idea is so ridiculous, which is exactly why none of the geniuses at CERN could come up with it. But this union of physics, neuroscience, and neurophysiology will make the impossible possible. To transfer memories to the past, to time leap.
ポイントは、転送するのは記憶だけってこと。
We'll be sure to keep that in mind there, Kurisu.
人格や意識についてはこれに含まない。
Personality and consciousness aren't included, although you don't really need to send those
どういうこと
to
だ
the recipient.
SF 小説でよくあるタイムリープとは何か違うのか
SF とかでよくあるタイムリープは意識、人格、記憶の全てが跳躍している。でも意識や人格まで含めるとデータ量は膨大になるだろうし、そもそも私の研究室が解析できたのは記憶の部分だけだから。
There's only so much that one can convert after all.
意識、人格と記憶は別と考えて。記憶はコンピューターでいうところの画像データや映像データと同じ。
I believe that Kurisu's explanation here is one that even Mayuri might be able to follow at some point.
それに対して意識と人格はいわば OS ということになる。
So memory is the actual data, and consciousness and personality are basically the operating system of the brain.
容量ってことなら OS より画像や映像の方が大きい場合もあるじゃん。
Yeah, Daru has a point. But then again, you can compress videos as well.
あくまで例えよ。そもそも人格や意識って未だにどこにあるのか、どんな仕組みでそれが成立しているのかはっきりしないの。
Ah, yes, the eternal mystery of the self.
だからそれをデータ化して移植するのは少なくとも私には無理。
記憶だけの場合どんなデメリットが予想される
That is another
パー
important
ソナリテ
question
ィ
there.
は記憶だけで形成されるわけじゃない。だから記憶を転送しても転送先の意識や人格に依存する。
I suppose that makes sense because your past self will still have the consciousness and personality that makes you you, whether it be 5 months in the past, 5 minutes in the past, or 5 months or whatever.
Windows で言うと Vista の入ってる PC で作ったデータを95の入ってる PC にコピペするって感じか
Basically, think of Windows as Windows, which you probably should already tell from the Vista and 95 code names.
最新の OS で作られたデータが旧式の OS でちゃんと動作するかはわからないわけ。何らかの不具合が出るかも。
Of course, this process isn't entirely without its snags.
それに例えば小学生の頃の自分に今の記憶を転送した場合、記憶と肉体のギャップのせいで精神的な障害が起きるかもしれない。
That is unfortunately true. Even if your past self could gain memories of knowledge in the future, that knowledge might affect one's personality in a rather detrimental way.
いずれにせよ過去の自分の体に転送することが前提条件だという認識で正しいか
I believe that would be the logical conclusion in this case. Kurisu nods at my question.
D メールと同じように携帯電話を介して行われる跳躍だから。
So as with D-mail, we'll be time leaping with cell phones, which actually gives us a very limited window here.
正確に言うと過去の自分の体でなおかつ 携帯を持ってる時点までしか跳躍できないと思う。
Which makes time leaping somewhat risky because even though we'll be sending messages back to ourselves in the past, it's probably there are two things that could ultimately go wrong. One is that it won't work if your cell phone back then was off, which means that if your future self tried to send a time leap back in time and that was the scenario, that would be a serious problem. And second of all, if somebody else had your cell phone and intercepted your message, that could probably cause some serious neurological problems. There was an exception to where we sent an email to a pager, but that doesn't apply to time leaping per
それ
se.
に飛ばされた先が同一人物じゃないと、例えれば電気信号がマッチングせずに弾かれてしまう恐れも。
Either the electrical signals might be rejected by the recipient other than ourselves, or they might be integrated. The memories might be integrated and thus ultimately reshaping their personality.
そもそも他人の体に入っちゃったら大変だしね。まあ僕的には可愛いおにゃの子の中なら喜んで入るけど。
This is no time for your usual flights of fancy, Daru. We're talking about something very important. Is this guy capable of a non-perverted thought? The answer to that is no.
へへじゃないわよ、バカ。弾かれるだけならいいけど、もしかすると深刻な人格障害まで起きる恐れがあるのよ。
Indeed, it might either give them psychological brain damage, or in the case of a serious brain rewrite, convince the recipient that they themselves have the personality of somebody else.
どんな結果になるかわからない。人類初の試みだから。
Indeed, because of course this is the first time this technology has actually been implemented, much less invented. So there are a lot of risks that can happen. But that makes us pioneers. I like it.
はっきりしているのは、自分が生まれる以前へは絶対にいけないということ。自分が二人同時に存在することはないっていうこと。だから、
Obviously, you can't leap back to a time in which before you existed with time leaping, and second of all, it actually removes the whole time paradox risk, because you can't technically exist in two places at once if you're only sending your memories back to your past incarnation.
タイムパラドックスが発生する心配はない。自分が生まれる前に親を殺すことはできないの。
And considering the fact that cell phones themselves did not exist in their sort of rudimentary form until the year 1996, we can only go back about roughly 20 years, if that. So we can't go back to the 1900s after all.
ホワイトホールの代わりということだな。
It seems like a strange coincidence that cell phones would be the medium of time travel, but really, could it have been anything else? These days, people wear their phones like a second skin. No other medium could reliably deliver the memories to their intended target. The more I think about it, the more I realize that this was meant to be. In other words, once again, this is the choice of Steins gate. And Rintaro is rather ecstatic. I whip out my phone and place it to my ear.
俺だ。すべての点が一本の線でつながった。ああ、計画はこれより最終段階に入る。無論、オペレーションベルダンディのことだ。
There's another Nordic reference there, which I'm not going to show you in this episode. If you've been watching my Let's Play thus far, you can pause the videos and look them up yourselves and learn more about Nordic mythology.
クリスティーナにはまんまと騙されたが、彼女のラボメン加入は我らにとってまさにシュタインズゲートの選択通りだったというわけだ。
I don't know about her fooling us, but it is true that we didn't know that she was capable of this particular idea of blending neuroscience and time travel. But this may very well be the choice of Steins Gate that has led us here.
うまくやってみせるさ。今も俺たちは無敵だ。エルプサイコングル。
I put away my phone and turned to Kurisu.
今言った通りだ。クリスティーナよ。これよりオペレーションベルダンディを開始する。
Probably should have called it Operation
いや、
Time Leap,
少しは
but
どういうことか説明しろよ。
お前の言うタイムリープ案を全面採用すると言っているのだ。ちなみにここまで俺をその気にさせておいて、脳内情報のデータ化はここではできませんなどとは言わせんぞ。
well, I suppose, well, there is only one problem in the fact that we don't really know if we have the technology to actually do this. But if time leaping works in the similar function to DMAL, we would probably have to upgrade the PhoneWave TBA itself.
まあ秋葉原ならパーツも揃ってるからなんとかなるとは思うけど。
And actually, come to think of it, the changes to the city streets that, as a result of Fabrus's DMAL, might actually work in our favor for once, because all the old electronic stores that went under as a result of the Moe craze in Akihabara, since they're all now back in business, we should be able to upgrade the PhoneWave TBA to the specifications that we need.
お前を作戦主任に任命する。俺やダルをこき使って構わん。
Be careful what you promise, Rintaro. She may ask us for 10,000 yen, and we probably don't have that
人
kind of
類史
money.
上初のタイムリープマシンを完成させるぞ。
Once again, we actually created something that CERN itself had never come up with. Kurisu nods. Her eyes are shining with a fierce, hungry light. As I thought, she's a scientist to the core. A neuroscientist and not a physicist, but still. A scientist nonetheless. Mayuri and Daru go home, leaving me with Kurisu. She's sitting in the development room chair, endlessly twirling a pen in her fingers.
一体何をやっているんだ？
考えてるのよ。タイムリープマシンのこと。
We should probably leave you to that then.
作れそうなことは分かったけど、もし実際に使ったら何が起こるのか。
Well, we can ponder all we want, Pinky, but unfortunately we won't actually know for sure until we actually do use it in a trial.
そうか。
She hasn't even started working on the machine, and she's already worried about what comes after. And also, sending our memories back in time, will that have an effect on the world lines? And given what we know about world lines reconstructing the past and people's memories, need I remind everyone that the only one who has the power to retain memories after such a change is none other than Rintaro Okabe himself, with his unique ability of reading Steiner. Anyone else who uses the machine may have their memories intact, but they may or may not be able to actually perceive the changes in the world line. That takes confidence, all right. Are all geniuses like this? Oh, she's right to be worried and concerned. What will happen when we use it? I doubt we can find an answer to that question, not without testing it live. Kurisu knows that. What she's really wondering is that whether it's worth the risk. That's why I avoid arguing with her, because she actually does have a
あまり
point.
悩むなよ。 今は完成させることを優先するんだ。
Then again, we do have another pebble in our shoe, and that if CERN suddenly decide to storm the castle, as it were, and get their hands on the time leap machine themselves, the future will be even worse than the one predicted by John Titor. She says that apparently with a small smile on her face. And once again she's back to pondering. Kurisu groans and flops down on the desk. It's strange to see her like this. She's usually so cool and collected. But maybe that's an act, and this is who she really is.
ねえ、岡部。全く関係ない相談していい？
関係ない相談ではなく関係ある相談をしてくれ。
Kurisu wants to talk about something unrelated to the time leap, but Rintaro wants to actually speak more about
こ
it.
の前言ってくれたでしょ？いつでも相談しろって。
I believe Rintaro did say something along those lines. I did? I don't remember that.
私って父親に嫌われてるのよね。
Ah, yes, Kurisu's personal issues. She sighs sadly. Well, that would explain why she was so upset over the phone. Ah, so that's what she wants to talk about. A conundrum. This isn't like before when she was merely an advisor. The Time Leap project depends entirely on Kurisu to succeed. It is clear, however, that she will be unable to focus as long as these petty concerns distract her. I don't think the issue of Kurisu's father would be described as a petty concern. In that case, it falls to me, the great Hoin Kiyoma, to solve her problem once and for all. Only then can she devote herself fully to the future of the lab. Need I remind you, Rintaro, that she's scheduled to leave and head back to America sometime soon. She only has another 10 or so days before that happens.
ほんと偉そう。
この前の電話、相手は父親か？
I don't think we can draw any other conclusion there. I am speaking, of course, of when I found Kurisu outside of the lab, crying into her phone. The mood was delicate. That's putting it lightly.
いつからかな？父親に嫌われるようになったの？
And that explains why she was so jealous of Rukuko's relationship with her father, seeing as how this world line's Rukuko was now female.
私が渡米する前からあからさまに避けられるようになった。家族なのにね。
There is nothing I can say to that.
お前自身の父親への態度はどうだったんだ？
昔はお父さん子だった。結構けなげだったのよ。
She smiles, but in her smile I see a hint of self-mockery.
父親は物理学者なんだけど、私は小難しい話を聞かされるのが大好きな子供だった。内容は全く理解できなかったけど、いつも父親に話をせがんでた。
Ah, a physicist and a neuroscientist. I think I'm beginning to understand the issue.
小さい頃から物理学の本も読みまくって。
Apparently she started studying physics when she was 5. That's eager. I guess that's what makes her a genius. Or perhaps the yearning for her father's love was what gave birth to that
お
genius.
かげで学校の成績は算数だけずば抜けてよかった。他の教科は見向きもしなかった。父親の書いた論文だって読んだのよ。小学生じゃ到底理解できそうもなかったけど、自分で一生懸命調べて必死で解読してね。その論文について 父親と議論できるレベルにまでなったのが小学生の高学年になってからかな。父親と物理学の話をきちんとできるのが嬉しくて楽しくて。
So basically all Kurisu ever wanted was to be able to debate her father on his favorite subject on an equal footing.
そしていつも私が論破して終わってた。
Ah, yes, and there we have the real problem at hand. Remember what Kurisu said about the senior scientists at her university being somewhat critical of her genius. That is the unfortunate drawback of human ego. Nobody, especially in science, ever likes to lose in anything, especially arguments.
それは嫌われる。間違いなく嫌われる。
Ego and pride, an unfortunate combination. A tragedy fitting for a girl genius. What kind of scientist loses to a grade school girl anyway? Seriously. That question, Rintaro, I believe is exactly the point.
やっぱりそう思う。
やっぱりどころの話ではない。確実にそれが原因だ。
Given that Ho Kiyomo is a very proud, arrogant scientist himself, it's not surprising that that's the case.
確かにあの人ってプライド高かった。
Yeah, on the one hand, your father may have been proud that you, his daughter, had come up with these things on your own, but unfortunately, that pride would have been undermined by the fact that you were the one who came up with those ideas and not him.
とにかくある時期を境にいきなり全然口を聞いてもらえなくなって。
So basically, as a result of Kurisu's diligent, prodigious gifts, her father essentially disowned her altogether.
ついにはママとも険悪になって家に帰ってこなくなったの。
That is
父親が
unfortunate.
大好きだった私はそうなったのが自分のせいかもって責任を感じてかなりショックだった。一時期は登校拒否にまでなりかけて、それでママが海外留学を勧めてくれたってわけ。
And that explains why you studied in an American university for 7 years. Completely
お
out of
前は
touch with
優
your
秀すぎ
father.
たというわけだ。それで今は父親のことをどう思っている？
わからない。
Kurisu looks down.
父親は日本にいるのだろう？一度でも会ったのか？
うん、結局会えてない。
It appears that Kurisu's father is incredibly burdened with bitterness.
この前の電話はその件。会いに行っていいか聞いたら来るなって怒鳴られた。
That may actually be the only piece of good advice that he could ever give you, given his condition. Her father has quite the inferiority complex. No wonder she was crying. Even for someone as strong-willed as Kurisu, it must hurt to hear that from her father of all
それ
people.
に会っても何を話せばいいのか。嫌われてからも私の方から一生懸命話しかけたんだけどいつも無視されて、それがすごく辛かった。その記憶があるからまた無視されるんじゃないかと思って何も言えなくなる。
So now we're finally getting to understand the real Kurisu Makase.
泣いているのか？
ちょっとじわっときただけよ。
お前は今でも父親と和解したいと思っている。そう。
そうなのかな。
そう思っていないなら父親のことを俺に相談したりはしないし、会いたくないと言われて泣いたりもしないだろう。
I think that Rintaro is quite correct on this point here.
素直な気持ちを言えばいい。お父さんが大好きですとな。
私の性格的に無理だと思うわけだが。
And I also think that Kurisu's father may not be entirely as forgiving as we would like him to be.
父親相手に何を可愛こぶっているのか。
Kurisu jerks upright, her face bright red.
ぶってないわよ。
いいや、ぶっている。そんなことでは和解などできんぞ。
Now, Rintaro may be somewhat harsh at this point, and indeed he is, and which is usually the case between him and Kurisu. But in this instance, it's probably the wake-up call that she needs.
ありのままをストレートにぶつけるしか解決策はない。相手に伝わらなければ意味がないのだ。無駄な装飾は無意味だ。もしそれでも分かってもらえないなら、それは和解の目がないということになる。その時。
時間ってどれくらい？
そんなものは俺に分かるわけがない。お前と一つしか年は変わらないのだから。お前がアメリカに行ったのは何年前のことだ
？7年前。
7年経っても変わらなかったのなら、その倍以上の時間が必要かもしれんな。
That is indeed a very long time for reconciliation.
さよね。
But Kurisu has no choice but to concede that particular point. Kurisu sighs heavily and rests her chin in her hand. Did my advice backfire? It looks like she's even more depressed than ever. And, I think she's actually taking your words to heart. I fold my arms and rack my brain for a solution. I don't want to see Kurisu like this. It's pathetic.
それでいつ会いに行くんだ
Kurisu opens her eyes wide in confusion. I take up my phone and bring up the calendar.
夏休み中なのは確定として、行くときはあらかじめ早めに声をかけてくれ。
何言ってんの
Now apparently Rintaro is the one acting completely out of character.
俺にも予定がある。急に言われたら合わせられないかもしれないからな。
いや、もしかして一緒に来るつもりか？
いかにも。お前は俺の助手だ。助手の悩みは俺の悩みに等しい。お前が最高の精神状態で働いてくれるために、俺はいかなる努力もするつもりだ。
Of course, unfortunately, if Kurisu's father has some personal scientific issues with his daughter, then I can't imagine a confrontation with the insane mad scientist Horin Kiyoma faring much better. But yet Kurisu seems to take some encouragement from Rintaro's willingness to actually see this through to the end. Kurisu looks dumbfounded. What, did I say something wrong?
なんだそれ。冗談もほどほどに。
俺はどこまでも本気だ。
Remember what Rintaro said about looking after the lab members? You are lab member 004. Yes, you are also known as Christina, Celeb 7 or Celeb 7, the zombie, and even his assistant. But you are a lab member first and foremost, Kurisu Makase.
日本国内ならばどこへでもついて行ってやる。国外だとパスポートを持っていないし金もないから難しいかな。
Yeah, we can't exactly travel to America with you, unfortunately.
岡部、
父親と二人きりだと何を話していいかわからないのだろう。
But Rintaro has just shown that he's willing to do what it takes to boost Kurisu's self-confidence. And if that means helping her reconcile with her father, then so be it.
だから俺も一緒にいてやれば問題ない。この法王院京馬が空気を読んだ見事な話題を提供してやる。
The last part of that conversation, however, is in complete dispute. But it seems to have worked in our favor.
なぜ笑う？
だってあんたが空気を読めた試しないじゃない。
あ、
By Jove, she's right. A mad scientist does not care about things like tact and decorum. He dominates the room with his sheer presence. Perhaps a softer touch is called for here.
でもありがとう。そこまで言ってくれるなんて思ってもなかった。
That's probably why he made the offer in the first place.
嬉しいとかそういうんじゃないけど。
Perhaps we should start calling you Kurasundere by this point.
本当、
That's a good nickname.
あんたってたまにいいやつになるから困るよね。
You are definitely a Kurasundere. Confusing how? Why is she yelling at me anyway? Shouldn't she be thanking me instead? She was thanking me 5 seconds ago.
ねえ岡部、今言ってくれたこと本気にしていいんだよね。
Of course, as we all know, nothing can be given without an exchange, so, as Rintaro mentioned, the only reason he is helping Kurisu with her family problem is so that he can use her knowledge to help the development of the time leap machine unhindered.
当たり前だ。
じゃあ電話レンジの改良が終わったら一緒についてきて。
任せるがいい。で、父親は今どこに？
Hopefully he's still in the country. If not, we can't exactly fulfill our end of the bargain.
青森。
青森？
父親は今そこに住んでる。
That's way up at the north end of the island, like 700 kilometers or something. I wasn't expecting to have to go that far.
何よ、やっぱりやめたとか言うなよ。もう決定だからな。無理やりでも連れて行くからな。
It's just that it's a very long way.
の
It is a long distance.
望むところだ。
Unfortunately, we've been caught in our own trap. We can't exactly back out of this. Promising to go to Armory will let Kurisu concentrate on the time leap machine. It is a small price to pay. A very small price indeed. The next day, Mayuri and I go shopping at the radio building, Radaikan. And we're back in the alleyway full of electronic gadgets, and there are probably more of them thanks to the booming electronic stores that are now back in Akihabara. But that will be in the next episode. So when we return, adventurers, we shall get the parts that we need to help Kurisu upgrade the PhoneWave TBA into the Time Leap Machine TBA. That's if they actually bother to rename it. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.